What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with AB Investments. Hopefully, you're having a great evening, and I want to start by giving out a very special shout out to my brother Mike the Marine, my other brother Mike, owning the float. He claims to be owning the float, but I keep telling them that it's retail who owns the float. It's not him. But with that being said, and brother Frankie Muhammad, Mr. Number One Son. I can't say the first word. Even if I try to, I'll just make a fool out of myself. But much love to you, sir, as well as always. CSI, an amazing individual, and Donnie Who George, who I don't know very well. I've never spoken to except a few messages here and there, but nothing personal. But I look forward to getting to know a little bit more and throughout this lovely movement that we have here. Now, you're wondering what happened today. Today was technically just about the most boring day in the stock market if you were a day trader. There wasn't much happening as far as AMC. We're brewing in the background, and we're reacting to things as they first appear. And best believe, guys, the group of people that I just shouted out, they are working literally around the clock to make sure, and again, all this is for nothing but the same purpose that each single one of you have. These group of people that I just mentioned, and in no way, shape, or form, I'm over here like trying to vouch for anyone or any of that. Like, you feel free to, vet them for yourself and do all that. But I call them brothers. Because I do know that they have one thing in mind and one cause, and they stand behind one cause, and that cause is the same cause that each single one of you are after. The only difference here is that they're so much more vested in and invested in this cause than just an individual who paid for shares or bought shares and just an investor in a company. I mean, after all, that's all they have to be. But more so than that, they're like so deeply invested in, and I see it from up close. So much love to all those individuals, all those brothers that I just mentioned a little bit ago, and I look forward to doing a lot more, as Mike the Marine likes to say, cross-pollinating together in the near future as well. So you guys get ready. You'll see a lot more of that as we are all trying to get this thing to land in the right position for all of us as a movement, as a family, and that's all we are after. At the end of the day, what happens after, is what happens after. But with that being said, what is the highlight of today as far as in the trading generally in this segment, in the like the stock market? You've seen nothing but regional banks announcing some stupid, pathetic news and based on that pathetic news, that they rised in the price, which again clearly points at algorithmic trading, to show you that that's just the price that they wanted to go up to, because no one in their right mind would go ahead and reinvest their money in Pac West Bancorp. No one is gonna go in First Republic Bank, as obviously it's done deal. Like these banks, and what was the announcements that the what was it, Bancorp, Pac West Bancorp? They announced that they are cutting some people, and they're gonna cut away their dividend program, and blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, so what is that, like the bullish news? Okay, so you're basically saying you're an individual. This is how, let me give you guys the street words for this. So this is an individual who owns a house, and now they got no more money. And basically they're on their, okay, you know what, we don't need to live with electricity because the property taxes are due The electric bill is due. All that stuff is due. They'll say, you know what, you could cut the electricity. We don't need the electricity. As long as we have, the house, that's all that matters. Is that something that is that sounds very sturdy to invest in? Of course not. For me, it's not. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell people what they can do and what they can't do. But for me, that's not. So I'm not going to go somewhere where the ship is literally half broken, and there's definitely holes in the ship, and it's leaking, and everybody can feel the water. It's halfway knee deep. And just because they say, hey, I think I see something far away, like, is that a land or is that an iceberg? No, that's the final straw that broke the camel's back. It's only a matter of time. The feds yet, like, if you need anything to back that up as well, that notion up of on the way of thinking, you got to remember that the feds, even before hiking the rates another 25 basis points just recently, these cracks were happening in all these small regional banks. So yet now that they hiked the rate again, the Federal Reserve, you expect that these banks are going to be okay just by cutting some employees and cutting down their dividend programs and all that stuff? Of course not. So you'll expect, I remember saying this on Owning the Floats channel when we had a lovely evening and a lovely conversation. I would be expecting from now until June 1st, the markets to be pumped and dumped with many of the news circulating around the debt ceiling. So if something is dumping, and especially now that we have CPI coming up on the 11th, you're going to have a bunch of volatile indexes. The weird part is that yesterday and today, there was not much happening with the major indexes, especially with the SPY. It's a letdown. I love trading the SPY, and there's days, not every day is a holiday, I guess, as they say, but some days like this is the days that you feel like, okay, you got to go and search for other opportunities out there and chase and stuff like that. And I don't do that. You don't want to do any chasing. It's very wise to take some days, if you're heavily involved in day trading, you got to be able to distinguish between, you got to be a great organizer, and you got to be able to understand that when the writing is all over the wall, like, hey, today is not the day, that means today is not the day. That's just my way of looking at things, and then there's always tomorrow that comes back in, and you get to save your dry powder and jump in and enjoy. At the end of the day, the best day traders are the day traders that are always available. Day traders that end up losing their money and no capital, and an opportunity arises, well, at that point, you're not day trading because you have the bad fundamentals, and you're not able to go ahead and actually utilize and organize your own self. So you got to be able to see and read when the writing on the wall is in capital letters. With that being said, much love to everybody. And again, much love to all those brothers that I've mentioned. And I look forward to seeing more cross-pollinating amongst themselves. And I'll obviously be in there. And remember one thing, AB Investments has always got your backs. Once a brother, always a brother. Much love, AB Investments.